Minted.
My god, a bit over 20 years old and the game still looks like shit. But with the game's amazing gameplay, bizarre boss fights, and iconic music taste makes this title a fan favorite. And though the game might have not aged very well, you can be damn sure it'll go down as one of the coolest lunchbox games ever released. And by all of this, I'm referring to, of course, Luigi's Mansion. As you know, the early years of the GameCube was a time when some of the most outstanding games were coming out for Nintendo's GameCube, with games like Pikmin, Melee, or even a classic like Super Monkey Ball, along with Luigi's Mansion, one of the 3 GameCube launch titles in late 2001. So, though Halloween was obviously a while ago, I honestly feel that it's never too late to watch a video on something Halloween themed, like Luigi's Mansion. Now of course, if something isn't really interesting, there are many timestamps for different sections throughout the video, so if you want to skip somewhere, by all means. But anyways, with its catchy music or the game's extremely noticeable darker tone, the game definitely spooked some of us as a kid. At the time of its release, the game was very unique and was seen as a somewhat weird Nintendo title, but surprisingly the game had sold more copies than Super Mario 64 during its opening week. I mean, the game truly stands out in the Mario franchise, instead of other respected game franchises like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, and so on. And though the experience was short, being able to use different elements with your vacuum, exploring the mansion, cleaning objects, and sucking up items like gems and gold was strangely fun. The short cutscenes of Luigi's Mansion were also enjoyable to watch. One of the very first scenes in the game is actually meeting this guy. A bit weird at first, but he's honestly a hilarious character. This character is actually voiced by Kazumi Totaka, who mostly works on the Animal Crossing and Yoshi franchises, as well as voicing past and present characters like Yoshi, Birdo, Egad, and Captain Almar. Overall, the game's interactment and great unique details all throughout the mansion are really what makes this game pretty damn good. Ah, bugs. Who doesn't love seeing a bit of bugs now and then, huh? Now, if you're not really interested in hearing a bit about the game's bugs, you can skip ahead to the next timestamp on the screen, which will be a bit more enjoyable to watch. I hope. Now, if you've played Luigi's Mansion a few times, you might be telling yourself, I've never seen any bugs in this game before, and I've beaten the game over a dozen times. Well, listen here, Egghead, they really haven't been showed as much until quite recently, and I felt I just had to feature a couple because some of them are just absolutely hilarious, or even a bit surprising. Some of the bugs in the game can be a bit funny. I mean, sure they're no Ocarina of Time, but seeing a game's bugs like Luigi's Mansion can be somewhat enjoyable for a lot of people. Just to name a few, there's the physics glitch, which occurs when you go to the nursery room and vacuum up the beach ball, and repeatedly walk slowly into a wall, which, by the way, looks so wrong, but when pulled off is actually pretty funny. Another one is the final stage rooftop bug towards the end of the boss fight, which is only available in the Japanese version and is actually quite difficult to pull off. So, right before you defeat King Boo and receive the crown, pull out your Game Boy Horror and you should have a somewhat paused cutscene and end up seeing some freaky deaky shit. One last bug I thought was sick was the baby room chest glitch, except this time you can go to an out of bounds area, also referred to as floor 1.5, outside the map. This can be done by quickly moving upright, moving behind the chest, and tapping R while pushing through the wall. You can now move freely outside the map and even see to the first floor below you. Now of course there are more hidden bugs throughout the mansion, but I feel that the combat is another cool aspect about the game. Whether it be the crazy boss fights or the hideously looking ghosts, compared to the other Luigi's Mansion games, the combat of this game was something else. Now, though you might look at the whole sucking ghosts around the room idea to be boring as balls, it's honestly more than that. And what I don't mean is button mashing the controller stick like you would in Smash. The game's combat's exhilarating, you know? I mean, come on, even a handful of enemies in the game have insane amounts of health, so at least some things can be challenging, right? However, some of the ghosts in the game are just straight up aids, okay? Like those ceiling bomber ghosts that always try to blow you up, that garbage can guy that just leaves banana peels everywhere, or the Shy Guy ghosts, who are honestly pretty sick. One last thing I felt that I should have mentioned is the player's unique character aspects, like Luigi's flashlight, vacuum, also known as the Poltergust 3000, and Game Boy Horror, all of which I believe people see as amazing interactive features within the game. Now, as for the boss fighting aspect of the game, there are a few fights that can be a bit hard or even extremely fun. King Boo, Chauncey, the twins, Bogmire, and even more. There's also the mini bosses as well, all of which are pretty damn cool. Some enemies and bosses within the game actually require you to use elements like water, ice, and fire. Especially having to direct most of your aim with the right directional stick can be somewhat infuriating, because you literally need to have good aim in certain portions of the game. But hey, I mean, at least the difficulty is nothing like the Kirby games. Objectively speaking, most, if not all of the enemy bosses are truly memorable within the Mario boss fighting category. Overall, I feel like the game can provide a real challenge for some players in certain portions of the game, and although some parts might be rage-inducing, the game still holds up somehow after 2 decades of the game being out. Luigi's Mansion is an absolute classic among the Mario video game franchise, as well as one of the best Nintendo lunchbox games that many of us might have loved as a kid. After all this time, we can truly see how stable and enjoyable the first Luigi's Mansion game has been since 2001. And besides the bugs and all that the game was actually a lot of fun, even now. I mean, it's certainly no Double Dash, but without a doubt, it's definitely up there for sure. And honestly, though this video could have been made at a much better time, like somewhere around Halloween, an entire month ago, it is what it is, you know? But hey, at least it's out, you know? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this special video. Be sure to follow my Twitch and all that, as I will be streaming before the year ends. And as always, much love to you guys for watching, of course, and yeah, see you guys later. Peace!